street shopping is a very big no for me. What if I just tell you that every single thing I'm wearing right now is like branded? So, thank you for the attention and also for the judgment. I knew it. By this time, around 80% of the people over there already started judging me as an exhibitionist boasting. While the other 20%, you ask me, let's not talk about them now. They're just peeping from behind to check if I'm really wearing the brands. Well, what if I say that I made that boasting statement just to get judged? Because you know why? The more you judge me, the more powerful I feel. And the more number of judgments you make about me, the more I grow into a powerful force. So your judgments are just like potent medicines for my growth. Confused? I'll tell you. I'm just telling you that I overcame the fear of being judged, and now that weakness of mine turned into my power. How good does it sound if a weakness can be turned into power? So I'll tell you how, I'll tell you why, and I'll also tell you why you need to do it too. Because it's the only fear which is holding a lot of us back in life. But before that, I want you to imagine a context. Imagine that the power goes off suddenly, or any hindrance, like any obstacle that occurs and stops me from delivering my complete talk. Then, of course, the judgment you have made, basing the first 2 minutes, would be the final one. It would be the final one for my entire life. Like when we come across a shopping mall or something, seeing me from a distance, you'll be like, oh, it's her, she's a very big show-off, I don't like her. Just because I wasn't given the privilege to deliver my complete talk, I was judged inaccurately. I had so much else to say. And most of the times, people do judge us inaccurately, and that's okay. But we don't think it's okay. That starts bothering us. We don't want to get judged. And if it's done, we want it to be done perfectly. But that doesn't happen every time. Let me just tell you my story of how I made an inaccurate judgment. I think it was when I was 16. I was getting late for my college. So being a backbencher and a latecomer, that was completely fine for me. But not for my mom. So she kicked me out of the house, asking me to be there on time. So I thought to take a local transport. And after an intense personality check, I chose a driver. And I was few minutes through my journey. It was good. But a few more minutes, my panic levels reached at its top. And the reason was, as simple as it was, these people don't take us in the usual routes that we expect. So he started driving at a high speed. And I felt chills down my spine higher than that speed. I didn't even have a mobile phone with me. I didn't even know what to do. And guess what? I started recalling all the karate techniques which I learned during my 8th class summer vacation. For 2 days I went. So a few more minutes, when I was about to get a panic attack, he suddenly stopped the vehicle and said, "You have reached your destination and you're 10 minutes earlier," adding his name to rate 515. So now, all the notions that I had about him turned out to be futile. Like I was wrong. He wasn't kidnapping me. He really had better knowledge about the routes than I had. And his intention was to drop me there on time. Most of the fears that we have in life are acquired. This so-called thing called fear of being judged is also an acquired fear. Right from our childhood, we are taught to value the society's opinions rather than our own personal desires. We are taught to value the judgments no matter the accuracy. We are taught to get bothered by these judgments and again, no matter the accuracy. Like when a father from a very middle class family asks his 21-year-old son to go to his college on a bicycle, he'll be like, "No, Papa, all of my friends take cabs or own cars and I cannot lower my standards by going to the college on a bicycle. So I'll take a cab too, even though we cannot afford for it daily." Because pride. In this process of trying to impress everyone, we are either trying to raise our standards to the extremes or suppress them to the extremes. If you can raise them, then well and good. But if you cannot do that, nothing else is generated rather than depression. So today I'm not going to tell you that you need to stop judging people or people need to stop judging you, because that's so ridiculous. The truth is that people will keep judging you for real, for literally everything you do in life, for doing nothing too. The only thing that you could do is getting over this fear of being judged, period. And for that, you need to listen to my story of how I did it. I too have been a victim of misjudgment. I was literally judged for everything I did in my life. Just living my own life, harming no creature on this planet, just living my own life. But still, people chose to judge me as a weirdo because I was a bit unique from them. I was different from them. At first I was okay, but later on it started bothering me and I started getting crippled by their judgments. So I couldn't control this anymore. I zoned myself out. But one day, I started breaking down into tears, asking my friend, why would people snap judge if they knew nothing about me and my personality? Then the answer she gave me was life-changing for me. She said, yeah, we judge people because we are constantly fighting to be on the top. And judging others helps us feel better about ourselves. So that's when I got to realize that we people are confined evasively to this. When your power doesn't please you, somebody else's pain surely does. Which naturally implied that you are not judged for being wrong, but more for being right or being yourself. A baby can make the weirdest gestures ever and still be addressed as adorable. But if you and I do the same thing, people be calling you immature people. Why? Because you are an adult, one of the competitors for this world. And the whole world is competing with you for the power. So it's obvious for them to try to lower your standards to raise theirs. And when she told this to me, and I started trying to understand the concept of competition behind judgments, everything slowly started making sense. And now, I am a path breaker. I just go by doing things I wish for in life, not really caring about what other people would think of me or judge me. Because what I feel is that until and unless you harm no creature on this planet, abiding to the laws, you can just do whatever you want. That's okay. Am I sounding reckless? But I call it satisfaction. Because by the end of the day, that is what everybody of us crave for. You can do the best job in this world and still not get satisfied. You can make some really good income out of it and still not get satisfied. Because the best job for this world might not be the best job for you. Like when I was a child, I was asked to entertain singing at family gatherings or parties. I did it and I loved doing that. It eventually turned into my passion. But when I was about to choose it as my career option, all those people who encouraged me now started discouraging me. You know what they said? A girl like you with lousy grades is supposed to focus more on career paths which will make some really good income out of it and not on things like passion and fashion. And being a kid, all that I could do was just listen to whatever they said. And now I regret for it. You know, regret kills. So that is why I strongly believe in this. A successful life might not be a happy life, but a happy life is definitely a successful life. Because everybody of us have our own definitions of being right, because we're all brought up under different contexts, different cultures, different traditions. And when somebody makes a judgment about you, these things are definitely going to make an influence on his judgment. And now, I have a question for you all. How many of you here want to be unique? Please show yourselves. Wow. Now my question itself is the answer for you all. When everybody of us wish to be unique, our judgments will also be unique. When you start acting unique, people start judging you. Now, does it mean that you're wrong? Absolutely not. It defines how unique you are, and their judgments define the depth of your uniqueness. Why not be happy for not being a sheep in herd instinct? Unconsciously, in this process of trying to impress everyone, We all have become copycats already. Like, when you just get caught in an examination hall copying, people will be like, oh, she's a copycat. Then what are we doing in life then? We're all copycats then, trying to copy somebody else's life, somebody else's lifestyle. Just because people admire them, we think they're perfect. And by copying them, you think you'll be admired too. But no. Why are we pushing ourselves into a disempowered state, not really allowing ourselves to be who we actually are? What my 20 years of experience on this planet taught me is that being on a planet with 785 crore population, it's impossible to impress every single unique mindset except yours. If you still don't want to get judged by anybody, then I got a way for you. Firstly, forget all your goals. Erase all your goals, dump all of them, and set a new Mission Impossible goal, which is to impress the whole planet. And when you're done, you're done. So it's okay to be a path breaker. It's okay to stand out of the crowd. It's okay to say no to things you don't wish to do in life. And it's okay to be who you actually are. Because impressing everyone and not getting judged by anyone is not the mantra for success. The secret sauce is getting over this fear, which will help you grow in power, eventually followed by success. Thank you.